everyone! Well, we're here, we're back, and today we're doing another anti-MLM video. Today is top fails number 3, and I have a variety of videos that I'm excited to share with you guys. Just so you guys know, I did create an email for you to send me content, so if you ever see a hunt in the wild saying ridiculous things, I would love if you screenshotted it or screen recorded it and sent it my way. That information will be linked in my description on how exactly you can go about doing that. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you really like it, please subscribe. Make sure to check out my description below for all of my fun links to my Poshmark, my Patreon, my social medias, and my anti-MLM playlist, which has almost 120 videos on it, are always linked below. And if you are at all interested in becoming a channel member, there is also a join button. So with all of that said, let's get into these top fail videos. This first video is from a person that I'm sure all of us know a little too well, and it is Jessie Lee Ward from the MLM Prove It.
Start when they started, no. Oh, see, this is another great narrative. The other narrative they like to say is, oh, only if you're distributor number 1 will you ever be on top. Like, I out-earn my upline, so your entire idea of a pyramid makes literally no sense. So in the pyramid that is Prove It, okay? In the pyramid that is Prove It, my upline came in, I joined her, I out-earned her.
So, I don't know how that disproves that MLMs are pyramid schemes. You outranking your upline doesn't mean that that upline doesn't still profit off of you, and the only reason more than likely you outranked her is because you got more people under your own little pyramid. You have each person in an MLM is creating their own little pyramid inside the big pyramid of an MLM. And a lot of MLMers will use this as a way to debunk it not being a pyramid scheme, is that I can outrank the person above me, which I don't quite understand how that disproves that it is or isn't a pyramid scheme. I guess like they think that whatever rank you sit at there, and that's why it's a triangle, but that's not at all the case. It is not even about the fact of the shape of the structure. It is the fact that no matter what, people at the bottom have to lose out so that the people at the top can make the most money. That is obviously a major issue because the people at the bottom come in hoping for this life-changing, wonderful opportunity that everybody tells them it is, and they sit there and so many of them struggle. We see income disclosure statements that prove this to be true, is that majority at the bottom are making no money and only the people at the top are making the most money. And as we know, she makes a lot of money. So outranking her upline doesn't mean that her upline isn't profiting off of her. And one last comment that I want to make is just something that I find kind of funny, is that she does usually make a point to say she doesn't care about anti-MLMers, she doesn't pay them any attention, it doesn't matter to her. But a lot of videos that I see, she makes a lot of comments about anti-MLMers, and she talks about them a lot. So for someone that is so unbothered by the anti-MLM community, she seems very bothered, doesn't she? All right, and this next video is all about the MLM myths. Okay, so we're gonna watch it again without the music, and I'm gonna pause it so we can read what each myth is. So we have MLM myths. You can't make any money. I mean, people can make money in MLMs. It is, if literally nobody was making money, then nobody would fall for the scam. The scam has to work, at least somewhat, for people to believe it to not be a scam. But just because the scam's working doesn't make it not a scam. You have to buy a bunch of products. I mean, depending on the MLM, like such as Sensi, I think you do have to buy a lot. In doTERRA, you personally have to buy and or sell X amount of product, usually more buy the product so you can show it off in order to just get a paycheck. With the clothing ones, we've seen that you have to buy quite a lot of product, you know, things that are limited edition, let's say. A lot of people in the MLMs want to stock up on those items in case a customer in the future wants to buy that. We've seen with paparazzi how much product they have around them. Like, I've seen plenty of lives and they're just surrounded by jewelry. So they have to buy a bunch of products. That's also not a myth. Maybe in this individual's MLM, you're not required. I mean, I guess all of them, you're not required. They don't force you to buy the product, but in order to show off the product, in order to personally send the product to people, if that's what you want to do, if you want to, you know, host parties and stuff, you have to have product on hand in order to do things like that. You know, give samples, give hostess rewards. You have to buy product in order to sell product and to give away product. So, I don't think that's a myth. You have to invest a bunch of money. Again, depending on the MLM and depending on how far you want to get. I mean, we can see that a lot of people who are higher up in MLMs, they do have a lot of product. They will say, I've replaced everything in my house with this product, and they'll have like warehouses of stuff. So it all depends. To say you don't have to invest a bunch of money, I guess that can be technically true, but maybe they mean you don't have to invest a lot up front, and it all depends. Certain MLM starter kits are very, very pricey in my opinion. So, and also, what can be considered a bunch of money to one person may not be a lot to another person. So that's also a spectrum of what somebody considers a lot of money. You have to meet quotas. Okay, this one is absolutely true. As we see in so many income disclosure statements and compensation plans, more compensation plans, I guess, you have to, in order to rank up and or stay the rank that you are, you have to sell X amount and your group has to sell X amount in order to maintain that rank or be promoted into that rank. So how is that not meeting a quota? If you want to stay at the rank that you are at, you have to sell X amount of product and your downline has to sell X amount of product for you to maintain that rank. So how is that not meeting a quota? All MLMs are the same. I mean, that's just true. You sell a product and get commission from it, and in order to get group sales, you have to have recruits underneath you. So it's about recruitment and selling a product so you get commission off of it. How that isn't not all the same, you know, again, yes, the products are different in many, many MLMs, but at the core of it all, they're all the same. Message me, we need to chat. I'm proof that it works if you do. Just because you say that they are myths or misconceptions does not mean that they aren't. If we remember from Top Fails number 1, the whole video was about a woman in Monat trying to debunk the myths and misconceptions about Monat or MLMs in general, and she didn't do that. And a lot of the time they don't do that. They just say that this is an MLM myth and you shouldn't believe it. But yet they usually don't provide anything to back up their argument. All right, and we have another video from TikTok. And yes, TikTok, you're not supposed to be talking about MLMs or promoting your MLM on there, but TikTok just doesn't seem to care. They put their rules into place and don't seem to care if people follow them or not. So people are going to still be talking about their MLM on TikTok because there's no repercussions for doing it.
So this comment refers to one of my most popular videos called The Most Hated Industry in America. Spoiler alert, it's the MLM industry. And in that video, I say that MLMs are hated more than the military-industrial complex, more than Big Pharma, more than Hollywood, more than the fossil fuel industry. And the craziest part about this is people will actually go and agree with that. They hate MLM more than Big Pharma, which has killed hundreds of thousands of Americans with opioids. They hate it more than the military-industrial complex, which has put us into useless wars, cost us trillions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of innocents dead. They hate it more than Hollywood, which corrupts and promotes degeneracy. They hate it more than the fossil fuel industry, which doesn't give a crap about you, and pollutes the environment. But MLM is so bad because it's shaped like a pyramid, and they send out annoying messages, and people have lost meager amounts of money. And that's worse than hundreds of thousands of people dead.
Okay. There is a lot about this. So he came with the statement that MLMs are the most hated industry in America. I thought he was going to back that up with facts because he read that somewhere, because that is a true statistic. And I typed in most hated industries in America, and MLMs were nowhere on the list. Big Pharma was, government was, all the things that he said that people should hate more than MLMs were on there. Do people dislike all the things that he talked about? And that is a totally different argument. Yes, absolutely. All of those things are problematic on their own. That is a different issue than what we are talking about when we talk about MLMs. MLMs are an issue over here. Those are over there. This is over here. If somebody hates MLMs more than all those other things, then that's their opinion, which they are allowed to have. Everyone is allowed to dislike things, and everyone is allowed to have opinions on things and what they deem as number one or number two or whatever. But people do not dislike MLMs because it's shaped like a pyramid. The shape has absolutely, honestly, nothing to do with it. It is the way that people prey on vulnerable people. It is the way that people manipulate people. It is the way that it is the dream that people sell people and the lies that they sell them. The other industries, as far as I know, they're not going on knocking on people's DM doors and promising them a life-changing opportunity. As far as I know, I don't think that's happening. MLMs ruin friendships. It ruins families. It ruins relationships. It is so much more than just saying, oh, they're annoying and we hate the shape of the structure. It's so much more than that. And I understand that when you are in the MLM industry and you are part of an MLM, you are going to feel more attacked, more personally attacked when people tell you they don't support the industry that you are in. So maybe that is where he is coming from, is he feels that because he hears it so much more often that I don't support MLMs, and he hears people say, I don't support Big Pharma, which a lot of people don't. You just have to look all in the right places. But when you are in an MLM and you are trying to recruit people and trying to get people to buy from you, you are going to feel more personally attacked when people tell you that they don't support the industry you're in. So it's going to seem a lot louder that people disagree with the MLM industry than they do any other industry out there. But according to what I at least found online, MLMs are not the most hated industry, but there are definitely a lot more reasons than just us not liking the shape of the structure and that they're annoying. Oh, and that people only lose measly amounts of money. Again, what people view as measly, maybe he views a couple $100 as measly or a couple $1,000 as measly, but to somebody else who maybe that was their last $100, their last $200, and they invested it into this opportunity that somebody told them would change their life and it didn't, that can be a lot of money and damaging to somebody and hurt them than it may to somebody else who the $100 doesn't mean as much to them. So again, it's all on a spectrum. It all is different, and all of it's a problem. It's all a problem that we need to address. MLMs are definitely in there, and they are a problem. Okay, this next video was actually sent to me by one of my Patreon members, so thank you so much for sharing this with all of us.
Good morning, good morning. I just got up a little bit ago. Yes, I slept in, and yes, I am like full on breaking out right now. And I'm not okay with it, okay? I need to do my Monate face mask. But I wanted to get on here because it's month end, all right? It's month end. My follow-up list is so strong. And I was just talking to my sister, Salvage Soul, you guys. She is a multi-millionaire in this company, and I couldn't even wait till I got ready. I needed to just talk about it. When you join my team now through the end of the month, guys, there's only 2 more days left. 2 more days. You get $200 in free product. Okay, you get the booster pack. That ends. It's a New Year's promotion. So if you have been wanting to join my team, I know there is like over 200 of you that reached out to me that want this, that need this. If you want the... Okay, so listen up. When you join...
So before I let her continue, so the end of the month is obviously when MLMers go the hardest because they're trying to hit the numbers in order to maintain rank and or rank up. And or, I think it would be or, not and. They can't maintain and rank up. That doesn't make any sense. You get what I mean? They are trying to hit their numbers, which means that they need people to sign up or they need people to buy. More than likely, if you get people to sign up underneath you, you hit kind of 2 birds with 1 stone by getting sales and getting people underneath you who are going to keep buying products. So you can hear the desperation in her voice a little bit of saying, like, it's the end of the month, like, you get stuff and there's like 200 of you who told me that you want this, and it's like holding on to the 200 people who say yes maybe, and maybe that's where she, you know, is so excited about it being 200 people. Whether that number is real or not, I don't know, and a lot of people say maybe, or I'll look into it, and they'll hold on to that and take that as a yes, and by saying, well, if you sign up now, you get all this free product. So it's a way to incentivize people to sign up now instead of doing more research into the company.
My team now through the end of the month. You guys have 2 days, okay? If you want change in your life, if you are sick and tired of living paycheck to paycheck, struggling, you know, you're the only one that can do something about it. The number one top income earner in this company joined with 2 negative bank accounts, you guys. I'm sorry, but you don't know my situation, and when I joined, I literally was selling things I had in my closet because I did not want to continue to stop letting myself get in the way of my own success. So I understand how it is to not have the funds. I understand. I know, but I know that you have old lunch boxes sitting around. I know that you have backpacks that you could sell, kids' clothes that you could sell, you know, all of the things, clothes, maybe shoes, maybe a purse.
So all of those things that she is saying, just sell the things in your house in order to be able to afford this kit, this Monate starter pack. And to say, you don't know my situation, I had to do this in order to start this business. That works the same way for the people that you're telling to just sell things. Just sell those things. Just sell things so you can get the starter kit. You don't know their situation. They are telling you no because they know their situation. Maybe they don't want to sell things. Maybe those are things they need. Or maybe they do want to sell those things, but they want to use that extra income for themselves. I think selling things that you no longer use is a great way to get some extra income. Have a garage sale, sell it online, Facebook Marketplace or eBay or Poshmark or Mercari. That is some great way to earn some extra money. And that's how you should get yourself some extra money. Putting that money towards an MLM is just literally throwing your money away at that point.
So it is $199. That's it.
That's it? Girl.
$199. And I know some of you might be going, oh my gosh, she's saying that's it, and that's
It's like she heard me.
literally all I have. That was all I had to. And what this business has already done for me in a short 3 weeks. Yes, please don't yell at me or talk to me that way, or I will spank your butt. Okay? So, it's your choice. Dude, toddlers nowadays.
You know, instead of being on Instagram Live and telling people that they need to spend their money on a Monate starter kit in the next 2 days so that you can make money, maybe put your phone down and talk to your child and figure out why they're yelling at you. Because, again, don't have children. I know the kids just yell, but like, they're clearly trying to get your attention. And this is a business that they promote that, you know, you can pay attention to your children. Children should come first. You're actively there with them, but she's not actively there. She's actively on her phone. All they do is probably see her on her phone all day long, and potentially one of the only ways they can get her attention is by yelling. That's what kids do. But again, I'm not her kid, I'm not her, I don't know her situation, I'm just basing it off of this tiny little moment that she could have easily just put her phone down, focused on her child, figured out what they needed, and then come back and continued the video. I think it looks so much better when you put your children first, when you're talking on Instagram or you're talking in an opportunity call. Showing that you're putting your children first, I think actually shows what you promise you can do. But by ignoring your child and just talking to your phone so that your Instagram followers see this, I don't know.
Right? Anywho, I want to train you. I want to mentor you. I want to help you grow. I want you to have success in all areas of your life, financially, physically, spiritually. You guys, when you love yourself for who God created you to be, it is life-changing. When you are no longer codependent on anyone and you know that you could take care of yourself.
Okay, that was it at that. So you can just hear the desperation in her voice, at least I could. Like, she just sounds so desperate. We're getting towards the end of the month. She's probably not saying the numbers that she wants. Maybe her upline is getting on her. I don't know how high up this woman is in Monet, but the desperation in her voice and the chaotic nature of her Instagram story, it just really, it had my head spinning. And it's just, the end of the month is a very difficult time for a lot of Huns because they're so desperately wanting people to sign up, and at the end of the month they see how difficult it is to reach these numbers that are very, very hard to obtain, as we can see from many an income disclosure statement. Okay, so the last and longest video that we will be reacting to today is a top It Works earner. I've actually talked about her before, I believe in my most recent It Works video. She is the one that is featured, so I'll have that linked right here. So that is who this is.
Hey guys! Happy Wednesday! Hey everybody! I'm just sitting in my car. I just got back from the grocery store, so I thought I would hop on because Sydney is happy, and that's rare. Not really, she's always happy, but she's happy and comfortable, and I just had the craziest,
Before I let her keep going, I will say that I appreciate her doing this Instagram story reel. I appreciate her not driving her car while she is about to tell us this story, because oh my God, are there so many Huns that I see driving while doing stories and posts, and they'll be taking pictures of things. That can wait. That is so absolutely dangerous and selfish to do while you're driving. Everything that you have to say can wait until you are parked. I just appreciate her for telling this story while being parked.
aha moment, and I had to get on because I always have them, and sometimes I get on and sometimes I don't. But the times that I get on, I inspire fire. Like, I inspire those people that need this opportunity. And so I've kind of been sitting here a little teary-eyed because I just had the craziest thing happen. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to get on. So, couple of things, guys. If any of you guys are new and watching me, I got a lot of new friends the last few days. I am a triple diamond leader with It Works Global. I'm actually about to be a presidential diamond this month, which is so awesome. It's so exciting. It's just insane. So presidential diamond leader soon with It Works Global. Last month we promoted my husband's account to double diamond, so we're claiming 2 separate multiple incomes a month through this insane opportunity that God brought us into 4 years ago with the most amazing mentors that we could ever ask for. And so today, while I was at the grocery store, which is a normal occurrence, obviously I go all the time, like I have to kill time, I work from home, right? So every single week I'm at the grocery store, but today I went to just get some meats, and I was walking around looking at stuff, and it was just crazy to me the difference in our old spending budget in groceries versus what we can do now. And the reason that I wanted to hop on is because, first off, I've been on food stamps, and it's there to help people. It totally helped us in times of need. But you guys, when we got off food stamps, we didn't even really know how to buy groceries because they give you so much. Like, we were living like kings and queens. Like, we were buying groceries like kings and queens because they're giving us like $500 a month in food stamps. And I always felt so bad, but it was still nice. Like, who doesn't want like free $500 in groceries? Like, I wanted that at that time, right? But I just went through my accounts from this last month. And I've spent like $850 on groceries just because why not? Like, we have the room, we have 3 kids, obviously, but we eat how we want to, and we eat organic, and I'm able to buy organic baby food, and I'm able to buy the crab and the ribs and the...
I don't know much about food stamps, but aren't you still allowed to buy organic food when you're on food stamps? I don't think that it being organic would stop you. And if you were getting $500 and said that they were giving me too much money, then why weren't you buying organic then? I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too much into it.
Me a meat that just we couldn't afford before. And not to mention, the crazy thing that I talked about happening right now is I'm in line, and this older lady behind me, she saw me pull out my card, and I don't know why, but she made the comment, she's like, oh, well, it's the first of the month, so I thought you'd be paying in food stamps. You must be a worker. And I'm like...
Okay, if this story is true, that is incredibly rude of somebody to say to another person, to make a comment about how they're paying for their food. If they are paying in food stamps, who cares? They're getting food to feed them and their family. How they do that, it should make absolutely no difference in your life. So, assuming that this story is true.
Like, first off, I felt kind of offended she even said that, because I was like, girl, that's a little rude. You don't know me, and you don't know anyone, so that could really offend somebody. But what it did do is spark a conversation between me and the cash register. And so I pulled out my...
You mean the cashier? Oh my god, maybe she was just talking to the cash register. This is so funny. This sounds funnier if, like, she was at self-checkout and she was just talking to, like, you know how they have cameras and stuff at self-checkout? She's just talking to herself. I don't know why. That's just this way. I know she meant cashier, but to say, I'm just talking to the cash register, it's like, yeah, I guess nobody else will talk to you. I'm sorry, that was me, but that was just funny.
Card, and I told her exactly what I do, and how we've been able to change our lives through social media. And the lady behind me wants to try the coffee. I gave her my number on one of these cards, and then the awesome young lady who is checking us out, she's got 2 kids. She just became a single mom, really going through it, and I've seen her at that grocery store for the...
Of course she was interested in what you were saying, because she's in a vulnerable position, just being a newly single mom, and she's like, oh, look at all this, you could have this too, which is so not true. And I'm just hoping that the cashier just noticed when they got home maybe later, like, oh my god, this is an MLM, this is not what I thought this person was selling, because maybe they didn't know about it works. A lot of people don't know about certain MLMs. Maybe they'll know about MLMs, but they won't know, like, certain ones are MLMs. So I am just hoping that this cashier does not get involved with It Works. Also, leave cashiers alone. They have to talk to you. They have to. So don't be selling your MLM product to them.
Last like 2 or 3 years. So that's amazing for me, because I've never opened my mouth to her, and I should have. Like, what if I would have opened my mouth 2 years ago? She could have been a huge, amazing rock star on my team already. But I was just so grateful for that moment to be able to share with her what I do and how I do it, with just this simple little card that I carry around, and really truly give her an opportunity and a vehicle to change her entire life. And so
she could just be an individual at the right time online and get offered the same opportunity from a different MLM or from your MLM. You just would be upset that you weren't the one to do it and somebody else was. This is also probably a lesson that she's trying to tell her downline, to talk to everybody about the opportunity, because you never know who needs it.
her on Facebook at her lunch break. She's gonna message me. I'm gonna get her added into my team. But she's probably watching this right now and she's like, "You're crazy, why'd you go live?" But this is what I do, guys. Like, I share the opportunity and it can be so easy. And so for anyone out there in another networking company, let me give you a huge tip. A closed mouth will never get fed. A closed mouth will never feed you. And there's been so many times in my business in the last 4 years with people that I've known that's mutual friends with people.
Here's the thing though, is that the individual that you were talking to, the cashier, as you were talking to her, she was actually making money. But if she were to quit her job and join underneath you, she could make money. I can't say she won't, but it would take her a very long time to probably make the money that she is making working as a cashier.
That maybe my mentors have known, and because I never opened my mouth and I never asked, or I had a prejudgment thinking that they didn't need this opportunity, they joined somebody else. And there's a specific individual, I'm going to call her out, Kara, but she just went triple diamond last month, and I've known her for so freaking long, and if I would have just asked her, she would have joined me, but I never asked her, somebody else asked her. And so those are those moments where you just open your mouth. If someone doesn't want it, fine.
So why are you calling somebody out by name even though they joined this business and they got the opportunity that you wanted them to have? Why are you upset that she joined the business? Oh, it's because she's not under you and because you're not profiting off of her. I see. That's why you called her out. It shouldn't be like, oh, I'm so excited that she's also doing this with me. It's, I wish I had been the one to ask her so that I could be profiting off of her.
Move on. But this business card could be that vehicle like it was for me. It doesn't mean it's for everybody, but it was for me. This has been what's changed our entire lives. And so me being able to give this to her and say, this can change your life, and know that it can because it has changed mine, it's the best feeling. It's so amazing. And then to think that people still think what we do is a pyramid scheme or a scam.
Yes, it is. It is. I believe it is.
It literally kills me because every single month after month, we help hundreds of people make a paycheck and bring in groceries to their home and bring in extra income to go on vacation and to pay off debt and to be free. And I know that we couldn't do that without all of our amazing leaders on our team sharing this opportunity and opening their mouth. And this is what I teach my team and what I could just give to anybody watching this. And if you're watching me right now and you're sick of just having to buy all of the minimum for groceries because you guys, grocery bills add up. Think about what $800 extra a month would do in just food. Okay, like you should see my pantry.
$800 a month. Let's look at It Works income disclosure statement and see what rank you need to be if you wanted to just splurge and spend $800 a month at the grocery store. So looking at the 2019 income disclosure statement from It Works, this is on the It Works website, it looks like the percentage of people in the company are mainly at the distributor level and they're making $48 a month, so that won't pay for really any groceries, so it doesn't look like you could do it just coming into this business. The second one at executive is 3.31% of the company, and they make $240 on average a month, so still not enough to splurge on that $800. We go next to Ruby, which is 6.35, so we've gone up a little bit, but they still only average about $349 a month, and this is all pre-tax, pre-buying the products, so keep that in mind. Then we go to Emerald, where there are 1.59% of the company, or they are 1.59% of the company, and they make $667 on average a month. So still not enough money to be splurging and be spending $850 or whatever she said a month on groceries. We go to Diamond, which are 1.5% of the company, which is, I don't know why I keep saying R, which is 1.5% of the company. So 1.5% of the entire company is at Diamond rank, making $2,000 a month pre-tax, pre-spending on product. So that is potentially the rank that they would need to be if they wanted to be splurging and spending $800 a month on groceries. So you would need to be 1.5% of the company in order to be making a nice, okay paycheck a month. Not the best, not the worst, but depending, the cashier could be making more than that a month. Maybe $2,000 is more than the cashier is making at working full-time at the grocery store. I don't know where they live. I don't know how much minimum wage is where they are, what the grocery store offers. It all depends. I don't know. I know when I was a cashier, I was making above minimum for my state, and if I worked full-time, I probably would have been making about a little over $2,000 a month pre-tax. So it all just depends, but 1.5% of the company is so small versus working as a cashier. That's a pretty steady job. I mean, we saw all through the pandemic that grocery stores were open. They were people that we needed. So more than likely, their job is certain. They get their hours, they clock in, they clock out, and they go home and they get to spend time with their kids. If they quit their job and they do this full time, yeah, you might see your children, but you would have to be working even more than you were as a cashier.
I'm about to try to shove a whole back seat full of food in there, and it's probably going to be really crowded, but that's okay because we have veggies, we have fruits, we have things that are fresh, stuff that I can buy every single week instead of feeling like I have one time a month that I can spend on groceries, and if we don't make that work, then we're going to starve. And I've been there and I've done that, and we are grateful, so grateful that we're able to do this. But we're also grateful that we're able to teach people how to do this, how to turn their food stamps into 6 figures a year, and how to how to change their life with a simple opportunity for change. And so if you're watching this and I can't physically hand you my business card, I'm handing it to you right now. Join me. This opportunity will change your freaking life like it's changed mine, like it's about to change my girl who just is about to sign up for my checkout experience at Smith's, and there's been so many times she's done. Throughout the course of this business, guys, where I, see if I whisper, she won't do it because she wants to hear, where I've opened my mouth and they've been the game changer, okay? I was in Spain one day, or not Spain, I was in Punta Cana, met a beautiful young lady on a cruise, partying. I told her literally, I was like, girl, you have a nice butt. What do you do? Because she did. She got that fine booty. You're probably watching me, girl. But we were partying it up. I told her she had a nice butt. Next thing you know, adding her on Facebook. Next thing you know, I'm opening up a team in Spain. Okay, this happened a couple years ago. A year into my business. If I would have quit because that year was hard, why that opportunity, that door that was open because of God would have never been opened. And so hold on tight, believe in yourself, keep freaking going. If you haven't even jumped in, maybe you've started already, but you're like, I'm just so overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. Like, you can restart this at any time. This is the power of the company, the power of the business is you're in full control. Stop letting other people's opinions control and dictate your life, okay? If I lived like that anymore, I'd be miserable, and that is how I've lived more than 80% of my life, okay? Just in the last few years, okay? I've been in the company 4 years, and I can tell you probably out of those 4 years, in the last 2 years, I've really implemented a lifestyle where I don't care what anybody else thinks about me.
Right, you became the typical MLM robot. You just pump out everything and regurgitate everything that everybody around you says that should work, and you got lucky. Really, maybe you knew a lot of people, I don't know, but a lot of it is luck and, your personality. She is a very personable individual, I will give her that for sure, and that plays a role in it. A lot of people are not comfortable to just basically shut off their base emotions and just chug away, it's like they want to feel that they are a part of this business and not just regurgitating everything that everybody tells them, which is what everybody uplines want you to do. Just turn off and just do it. We just hear just do it all the time.
Friends, family, anybody. that is how I live my life. That is the beauty of life. That is how you have to live. And if you're living for other people, you're living so wrong, okay? Live for you. Be that change that you want to be. Be the person you want to be, because this is your life. No one else takes you with them at the end of this, okay? So if you want to live a freer life, just say yes. Be more free. Try something new. Be different. I promise you, if I was not different 4 years ago, all of this would not be possible. None of this would be possible. We would still be exactly where we were 4 years ago, in the same exact spot.
All right, that was the end of that. Bye, It Works lady. So I really, I don't know if if all of her story was real. It's always hard because maybe they exaggerate, or maybe she thought about this and she just mentioned it to the cashier. I don't know. Again, somebody just mentioning something to somebody else, like, oh, I thought you'd be using food stamps. Incredibly rude. Don't do that to people. Not that you guys would. But the fact that something like that triggered her to bother that poor cashier, I don't like. As an ex-cashier, I'm like, please leave me alone. I can only hope that that cashier just took her, she called it a business card, but it was just a little pamphlet thing, and did some research, typed in It Works in Google or on YouTube, and saw how it really is and what really goes into it, and looks at the income disclosure statement and compares her paycheck to what she's making now to where she would have to be in the It Works income disclosure statement to even come close to what she's making and want to make more money. Because if, what was it, 5th rank in the company, you're only making $2,000 a month, maybe she's making $1,600. So yes, that is technically more money, but after taxes and after buying all the product, is it really? So I hope that she really looks into it, and hopefully I just don't bother cashiers. Like, they have to be there and they have to listen to you and you have to be nice. It's customer service. So maybe that's what that cashier was doing. She was just being nice. So hoping for the best for that. But yeah, who knows if that story was even real and she just used it as a way to tell other people, hey, this is how you get people to join underneath you. Just ask them. Who cares if they say no? Who cares if this hurts your soul and it kills you every time somebody says no? Just get over it. You're doing this for you. I mean, are you really? If you're emotionally and mentally scarring yourself day in and day out and you're exhausted, is it really for you? Alright, you guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you really, really liked it, please subscribe. Let's talk anything and everything anti-MLM in the comments below. And until my next video, I will see you guys then. Bye!